Thanks to our friends at The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/ASYM for the top 10 stocks to buy right now. There is no doubt that NVIDIA has been one of the best investments over the last 10, 20 years, and it's hard to find even historically a company that has performed as well. I think it's really interesting to look back at the company's business segments, where it's generating revenue, and how much of a boom and bust business this is. So that's what I want to dig into today. My name is Travis William. Thanks for watching Asymmetric Investing. Please subscribe here on YouTube for all my content. And thanks to this video sponsor, The Motley Fool. Check out fool.com/ASYM for the top 10 stocks to buy right now. I have a link to that both below and in the show notes. I want to start with NVIDIA and just look at the revenue chart over the past 10 years. And what you can see here is that NVIDIA has gone through a couple of major cycles. In 2019, this was really a both gaming and crypto related bubble. Bitcoin in particular was the one that was really going crazy at that point. And then in 2021, 2022, that's when you see an explosion, particularly of gaming during the pandemic. And then also Ethereum, remember, a lot of the validation for the proof of work was done with NVIDIA chips. So a lot of demand for NVIDIA chips when Ethereum was going crazy and when there was high transaction fees there. That actually dropped off a cliff when Ethereum moved to proof of stake. And that's why you actually see the decline at the end of 2022 and into 2023. But that's when you see the jump in artificial intelligence demand. I will get to that in just a second. But taking this broader view of NVIDIA's revenue, I think is just an interesting exercise. Let's take a look now at net income. And you can see I've highlighted a few of these things. Net income really has as much to do with revenue as it does how much pricing power NVIDIA has. And you can see that they really put their pricing power to work when they do have the demand. And that's why you see just a surge in profitability during the pandemic and the crypto boom, and now during artificial intelligence boom as well. See similar trends for free cash flow. So I won't dwell on that. And I'm going to get to the data center in a second, but I'm going to cover that last because that is the kind of the crazy one for NVIDIA. First, let's look at gaming revenue. You can see actually the crypto bubble actually fell under the gaming segment because that's where people were buying chips. But this is actually a pretty steady revenue growth business, a 19% CAGR since Q1 2015. So just a phenomenal growth business for NVIDIA and has been very steady over the years. They also break out their professional visualization tools. This has not been a huge growth business, but is a 7.5% CAGR. So a lot of companies would love to have this kind of growth, even though it's kind of an afterthought for NVIDIA. Auto is another business that they break out. This is starting to be another pretty sizable business. This is a decent growth business, but again, less than $300 million in revenue. So not all that big for NVIDIA. But let's get to the big business and the reason that most investors own NVIDIA today, that is artificial intelligence. I think is fascinating. Pulling these numbers all the way back to 2015 is that the data center business essentially didn't exist in 2015. They had $57 million in revenue in the first quarter of 2015 related to data center sales. That has grown 18,000% since then in less than a decade. You can see that the most recent numbers were driven by when ChatGPT launched, and then there was just an absolute explosion in artificial intelligence and the demand for specifically the H100 chips that NVIDIA makes. They're making extremely high margins and they have more demand than they can fill right now. So going back through NVIDIA's history, I think it's fascinating to look at the company's boom and bust cycles. And this often happens in chips, but NVIDIA is one of those companies that just seems to almost embrace the fact that it's going to have way more demand than it can fill. So it's going to make chips as fast as it can. It's almost going to over make chips as a result. We saw that during the crypto boom, during the gaming boom, during the 2019 crypto boom. Now we may see this during the AI boom, but it will probably be a couple of years before NVIDIA and the market are in a sort of a supply-demand match. But I thought that collection of charts really tells the story of NVIDIA, where it's getting its growth. It's not really the gaming business that it used to be. It's actually become a data center business. And the crazy thing is that data center business essentially didn't exist a decade ago. So what do you think about NVIDIA today? And did you take anything new from these charts? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to Asymmetric Investing. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you here next time.